The potter's wheel was still spinning. Kavi hadn't touched it in 20 minutes. He was sitting right in front of it. But he wasn't there. He was somewhere in the future, worrying about whether the merchant would like the pot, whether the merchant would come at all, whether the rain would ruin the courtyard, whether he should switch to making lamps, whether lamps were even fashionable anymore. The wheel slowed down. Kavi didn't notice. Kavi had been trying to make this pot for 4 days. Not because it was complicated. He'd made 1,000 pots. He could do it in his sleep. Actually, that was the problem. He tried to do it in his sleep. Sort of. His method for focusing was simple. First, clear the mind. Think of nothing. Sit in silence. Let all the noise settle. He'd been letting the noise settle for 3 mornings in a row. On the second morning, he made a list of all his distracting thoughts so he could set them aside and focus. By midday, he had 17 items on the list. He added, make the list shorter, as item 18. On the third morning, he closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and promptly fell asleep against the wheel. He woke up to find his neighbor's goat sitting in the middle of his half-made pot. The pot was gone. The goat looked comfortable. Kavi decided to try again on the 4th day. But now he had a new thought in his head. What if the goat comes back? That is when Krishna walked through the courtyard gate. Not summoned, not passing by. He just appeared, the way he always did, at the worst possible moment, looking like nothing in the world was particularly urgent. He picked up a small piece of clay and started rolling it between his palms. He did not say hello. He did not ask what was wrong. He just rolled the clay. Kavi watched him for a moment, then said, I can't focus. Said Krishna, still rolling. I keep thinking about other things. The merchant, the rain, whether I should be making lamps. Krishna asked, what does a lamp do that a pot doesn't? Kavi frowned. That's not the point. What is the point? I can't focus. Krishna stopped rolling the clay. He looked at Kavi. What are your hands doing right now? Kavi looked at his hands. They were in his lap. Nothing. So your mind has nothing to follow, Krishna said, like it was obvious. Kavi stared. That makes no sense. I need to clear my mind first, then I'll work. Krishna tilted his head. Where did you hear that? Everyone says that. Clear the mind, find peace, then act. Krishna said, I think you have it backwards. Kavi opened his mouth, then stopped. You're saying I should just start? Even with all these thoughts? I'm saying your hands don't need your mind's permission. What if I mess it up? What if I lose focus halfway through? Krishna picked up the clay ball, now a perfect little sphere. You will, he said, lose focus halfway through. Every time. He put the sphere on the edge of the wheel. So, he added. Krishna stood up, brushed his hands on his dhoti, glanced at the sky like he had somewhere else to be. Somewhere that was probably more interesting. Start, he said. Your mind will catch up. And he walked out of the gate. Kavi sat there for a moment, staring at the small clay sphere Krishna had left on the edge of the wheel. Then he put his hands on the clay. He made the pot. He lost focus 11 times. He thought about the merchant 3 times, the rain twice, and the goat once. But his hands kept moving. When it was done, he looked at it. It was lopsided on the left side, a small dent near the rim where his attention had wandered. He almost threw it out. But old Murali, the village elder, who had more pots than he had reasons for them, walked through the gate. He pointed at the lopsided one. That one. How much? Kavi looked at the pot, then at the perfect one beside it. That one? It looks like someone made it, Murali said. Not a wheel. He paid double. Kavi sat with that for a long time afterwards. He picked up the clay sphere Krishna had left behind. Still perfect, still round. He had no idea when Krishna had made it that good. He placed the sphere next to the wheel, and the next morning, he didn't close his eyes. He didn't make a list. He didn't wait for the noise to settle. He just put his hands on the clay. The thoughts came anyway. His hands didn't mind. Like, share and subscribe. And go put your hands on something